at the million-dollar question, which is, what is the true cause of disease? God never designed that people to be sick, or to be as sick as they are today.
DNA damage plays a major role in serious illnesses like cancer, yet many people are unaware that hidden threats are constantly attacking it. Barbara O'Neill reveals 7 surprising factors silently harming our DNA and affecting our health. But the good news is,
the human body was designed to heal itself, and it will heal itself if you give it the right conditions.
with the right foods, we can repair DNA and reclaim our well-being. In her lesson video, Barbara highlights foods that protect and strengthen DNA, along with 2 powerful herbs that can transform gut health. Since the gut acts as our first line of defense against disease, these simple changes can have a big impact. So, by focusing on proper nutrition, you can support your body's natural ability to heal and thrive. Let's see what can we do to strengthen that. But first, let's understand some really important things about DNA.
And to understand how the human body heals itself, we need to go down to the smallest component, which is the cell. Right down in the middle of each cell is the DNA. The DNA is the genetic code. It's inside the nucleus. We are constantly being remade, and we're being remade according to the DNA. Did you know that our eye cells are remade every 1 to 2 days? That's why if people have eye surgery, it's usually day surgery. They heal very, very quickly. The next quickest are the cells that line our gastrointestinal tract. They're remade every 3 to 5 days. We've got a new skin every month. We have new bones about every 3 months. We have a new liver about every 6 weeks. So we're constantly being remade. I think it takes approximately 2 years. After 2 years, we have a new body. This body is constantly being remade, and it's being remade according to the genetic code inside every cell of the body.
Which means that inside this genetic code is all the information needed to create not just a new cell, but even an entirely new body, tailored specifically for its purpose, like a gastrointestinal tract cell or a liver cell. But this leads to a question.
Why is there damage in the DNA? Especially when you realize that there are enzymes that are constantly threading up and down those strands, and their role is to heal any glitches.
When our DNA gets damaged, the body struggles to heal and protect itself. Barbara O'Neill points out 7 key factors that can harm our DNA and weaken our health over time. But here's the hopeful part. If we tackle these issues, we can help our bodies heal naturally, fight off illnesses, and even reduce the risk of serious diseases like cancer. So, the first factor is mineral deficiency in our foods, because food makes up our DNA.
Why? Why is there damage in the DNA? Today, research is showing that 92% of DNA damage is caused by mineral deficiency. You see, the greens are the highest source of minerals of any of the vegetable kingdom. What we have to do is have a look at how those vegetables are grown. The soil is used over and over again. Every organic gardener knows that if he grows a crop in his soil, he cannot put another crop in that soil until he replaces all the minerals that the previous crop took out. This begins to explain why a lot of people, when they cook, they go to the MSG, they go to the stock cubes, because the food that they're eating does not have the flavour. But we're finding people today who are even eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and are finding out that they're mineral deficient, and it's because of the way that they're grown.
So, foods grown in the ground and eaten soon after being picked are packed with essential nutrients. To avoid mineral deficiencies, it's a good idea to include more dark green leafy vegetables in your meals, especially if they're organic and freshly harvested. The next major cause of diseases is exposure to chemicals.
Chemicals. It is estimated 30,000 new chemicals are introduced to mankind every year. Make a decision to become chemical free and go for organically grown fruits and vegetables as much as possible. One form of chemicals, not often seen as such, is drug therapy. Drugs never cure disease, they just change the form and location of the disease, and I'm referring to their side effects. Now, if someone's been on say, antidepressants or cortisone drugs for many years, I do caution you must not stop them straight away. It's important, if you are on any medication, to find someone who can work with you to show you alternatives and slowly come off them. It can be quite dangerous to stop them outright.
Another contributing factor is genetically modified food.
Genetically modified foods cause cancer because genetically modified foods are a result of the DNA of two species being spliced together. They do not know the full effect on human beings, but what is known is the substances that are broken down in the body after eating genetically modified foods are not known in the body and have the ability to tamper and even damage our DNA.
The fourth cause of disease is electromagnetic fields.
Electromagnetic field excess. We are electrical people. We have a spark of electricity in every cell. Our nervous system specifically is our electrical system. Electromagnetic field has the ability to tamper or interfere with your electromagnetic field, causing damage at the cellular level, even at the DNA level. In humans, they are 10 hertz. That's the electromagnetic field in humans. And that's, I think it's 10 revolutions per second. And with huge power lines, you often get a 50 hertz, and it's well known to cause damage at the cellular level. The farmer knows that he cannot let his cattle graze under those huge towers because stillborns will be a result, even deformities in the little calves. Be careful of any electrical equipment in your room. Don't charge your mobile phone in your bedroom or your iPhone, iPad, iPod, computer, television. If you've got no choice, try and do it way over in the far corner. So always address where you're sleeping. Even where the head of your bed is, the wall. Make sure there's not the meter box the other side of the wall.
The fifth cause of disease is stimulants.
Stimulants. Stimulants have the ability to tamper with your DNA.
Today, popular stimulants are commonly consumed, and it's important to understand how they affect your health. Let's take a closer look at what these stimulants are and how they can impact us.
One is sugar. We have 400 diabetics being diagnosed every day in Australia at the moment. That's an epidemic. Diabetes was not known on the planet till sugar was well established. Hippocrates has no mention of diabetes in his literature. What does sugar do? How does it cause diabetes? It causes a massive blood sugar level rise, and then the pancreas has to respond with a massive amount of insulin to get that blood sugar level down again. And then the person usually goes too low, and so they go and get another little bit of sugar. And so what they're often doing, you'll find that their blood sugars are like this all day long. Crisis, 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 crisis. And eventually, the pancreas just says, I've had enough, and it doesn't produce insulin anymore. Diabetes mellitus simply means sweet urine. So when the pancreas isn't releasing insulin, then the insulin can't be stored in the cell, it stays in the blood and it spills out into the urine. In Australia today, we're looking at about 4th generation sugar abuse. Granted, many people don't realise they're abusing sugar, but it is a highly addictive drug. Caffeine. Caffeine interferes with the neurotransmitters in the brain. And when the neurotransmitters in the brain are being interfered with daily, every day, coffee, Coke, chocolate, then that couple can give birth to a baby who has a tendency or a susceptibility to mental illness because of the disruption in neurotransmitters that constantly happening begins to affect the DNA. Also, tobacco, It's well researched, not only the effect of the unborn baby when the woman smokes, but also the defective DNA that a woman gives through. Not only a woman, but of course the father also can give a defective DNA through to the child. Alcohol, fetal alcohol syndrome, is a condition that children can be born with to parents that drink 2 drinks a week. That's not very much, is it? There's a lot of information coming out more and more today on how damaging the alcohol is, not only to the cells of the human body, but how it affects the DNA.
The 6th cause of disease is anger.
Anger. I have a book called Lessons from Water by a Japanese scientist, and he did a lot of research on water. And he found that when he shouted at the water, had heavy rock music, anger, violence, and then he'd look at the water under the microscope and the perfect forms would all be marred. And then he would do another experiment where he had classical music and love, joy, peace, even those words. What he found amazing was if he put the word hate on the jar that the water was, it marred them. If you put the word love on the jar where the water was, it didn't mar them at all. Interesting. And we are much water. We are 75% water from the neck down, 85% water from the neck up. And so when a person is constantly subjected to anger and violence, it can damage the cells to the point of even damaging the DNA.
The final cause of disease that Barbara points out is yeast and fungal infections.
Fungus. If you look in nature, you will see that fungus can splice into the DNA of many plants.
The people that live in the moldy house have to get out of the moldy house, so the smoker has to stop smoking. Antibiotics should be used only as life-saving results. In summary, eliminating 7 key causes of disease such as mineral deficiencies, harmful chemicals, GMOs, stimulants, anger, and mold exposure supports the body's natural healing.
Now, if you're feeling very discouraged right now at this list because you may tick every box, I've got some very good news. When you stop the things that are causing the problems, very quickly the body starts to respond and starts to heal itself.
Barbara O'Neill also tells us the importance of gut microflora in maintaining gut health, helping with nutrient absorption and protecting against harmful pathogens. But she emphasizes 2 herbs that strengthen the gut wall, promoting optimal health and recovery. Barbara says, all gut needs to heal is a probiotic, which you can easily find in health food stores. It's best to take it 30-45 minutes before breakfast so the microorganisms can reach where they're needed. There are also 2 herbs that are great for soothing and healing the gut, aloe vera and slippery elm. Both herbs are slimy, which is helpful because they contain substances that coat and protect the gut lining. Aloe vera stimulates growth, promoting rapid healing of gut cells, which regenerate every 3 to 5 days. Slippery elm, made from the powdered bark of the slippery elm tree, also contains a growth stimulant and has a similar healing effect. She recommends alternating between these herbs each week, as the body can become accustomed to them. When the right conditions are provided, the gut can heal, but without proper nourishment and support, gut problems can persist.